In this movie, we're going to explore the benefit of breaking your document up into different sections. By having different sections, you can then have different headers and footers. So, using the document we started working with in the previous movie, our Landon Hotel Guide, LH Guide 0503, if you need to get caught up. We already added headers and footers to our document. We have a different one for the first page, but as you can see on page 2, we have West End London at the top and at the bottom. We have some text and page numbering. And as we continue on into the document, we reach some information about the Latin Quarter in Paris. So as we get further down into the document, this West End London header doesn't make any sense. We need to change it, but before we can change it, we have to create the new section. And in fact, a little further down, there's information on San Francisco. So we need another section there. So let's start by inserting the sections, and then we can worry about the headers and footers. We'll go to page 3 and click just in front of a neighborhood of intellect, art, and culture. That's where we want to start our new section. We actually want it to start on the next page. So we'll go up to the Layout tab. If you go to the Insert tab, where you think you might want to go to create a break, you can create a page break, but it doesn't create a new section for you. Let's click the Layout tab. You'll see Breaks as a drop-down where we could, if we wanted to, insert a page break from here, columns, text wrapping, but then we get into section breaks. And as you can see, Next Page is the one that we want to insert a new section beginning on the next page. If we wanted it to continue right from its current location, we could use Continuous. Or if we wanted the new section to start on the next even or odd pages, we have those options as well. But we want it on the next page. Give it a click. Now suddenly we're on to the next page. We don't see anything with regards to sections, but notice there's no header. And as we scroll down, there's no footer. But then when we get to the next page, we do see West End London and our footer information at the bottom of that page. That's because we have a new section and it's copying what we chose to do with headers and footers in the first section, which is to have a different first page and to use West End London and our text and page numbering at the bottom. So here's where we get to make some changes. Let's scroll up to the top of the new section, which is on page 4 here, and double click in the header area. That's the blank area at the top of this page. Now we see that we're actually in a first page header for section 2. And notice it's the same as previous, same as the previous section, which had a different first page header and footer. And as we scroll down to the next page, we're just simply in the section 2 header, which is the same as the previous. We have some changes to make. So on page 4 at the top, first of all, we don't want it to be the same as the previous. Notice the Design tab is selected under Header and Footer Tools. Different first page is checked off. So is this in the navigation group linked to previous. Well, we don't want it linked to the previous section. So the first thing we'll do is click that. Now we're on the first page header of section 2, which we don't need. We don't need a different first page. So we'll deselect that checkbox. And now you can see link to previous lights up again, and it is same as previous, so we need to click that again to turn it off. Now the text is still there, but it is a new section, and we can make this different by changing the text. So select West End London and type in Latin Quarter, Paris. There we go. Scroll down to the bottom. We're going to leave the footer as is. It's the same as the previous, and that's fine. And as we go down to the next page, there's Latin Quarter, Paris, and so on. So we can close up the header and footer. Now we have exactly what we want in our first 2 sections, but as I mentioned earlier, there is another section that we need for San Francisco, the Bernal Heights area. Let's click in front of Experience San Francisco like a loco. Let's go up to Layout, click Breaks, and create a next page section break. And you can see we're actually on to the next section, and it does still say Latin Quarter Paris, but when we double click in the header, you can see we're in header section 3, which is the same as the previous. Of course, we want to turn Link to Previous off by selecting it from the navigation group. And now we can change Latin Quarter Paris to Bernal Heights, San Francisco. And when we click Close Header and Footer and scroll down, you can see we still have our footer information, but the next section is Bernal Heights, San Francisco. There we go. We have exactly what we want 3 different sections for our document, which allows us 3 different sets of headers and footers. And that's the advantage to using sections in your documents. Breaks them up, makes them easier to navigate, and of course, the benefit of different headers, footers, and of course, our page numbering is also appearing on every page in our document.